Greetings, grave robbers, and welcome back to Not the Television Graveyard. I am your TV necromancer, TV's Noah Houlihan, and this is an episode from the Crowdfund Crypt. Yes, so it's been a very busy time here at Stay Doomed Studios. If I could just be honest, my actual job is very busy as we head into the school year, and on top of that, I actually have a very large wrestling show that I'm working that's coming up, so all my time has been monopolized by other projects, but I still wanted an episode to come out this week, and we did the 7-year anniversary show a couple weeks ago, and one of the things we were discussing is a pilot episode that we did called Quintessential Episode. And I was so positive that I had already released it on the YouTube page that I was like, oh, this will be like the video that pops up at the end. You know, if you want to watch something else, watch one of these, one of the suggested videos. And then I saw it wasn't there. So I'm going to correct that mistake this week. This is Quintessential Episode. Laura and I will explain what it is, so I won't do it now. But this was originally behind the Patreon paywall, and we don't do that anymore. So I wanted to share this with y'all for free. So please enjoy this episode, and we will be back next week with a brand new episode of Stay Doomed.
Good evening, grave robbers, and welcome back to the Crowdfund Crypt. This is an experimental place where we try some stuff and release special content for our Patreon subscribers. Hi, everybody.
Hey, welcome. So this was an idea we were throwing around for a while when we were thinking about ending Stay Doomed after one season. And this is Quintessential Episode.
Yep.
Basically, there was an article I read, or I saw it on Reddit. I don't remember where I got this information, but I liked the idea of it, which was explaining that the quintessential episode of Doctor Who was Blink.
Yes.
And the quintessential episode of Buffy was Hush. And basically it's the idea of if someone has never seen this show, what is the one episode you could show them that would basically let them know everything this show is about? It does not necessarily mean it is the best episode of the show.
Right.
It's just a show that displays what the show is about. It's the most that show.
Yes, it has the key elements of that show distilled down. I also would argue that it needs to make sense out of context.
Yes.
If you're showing one person, so if you have like a long story arc, the culmination of a long story arc might not be the episode you would use.
Yes. You would need to be something that you can watch, understand all of it without having seen anything else, and basically get what that show is all about. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, well, wouldn't that for every single show be the pilot? Because the pilot's job is to basically do exactly what I'm describing. Often, the pilot fails at that.
Yeah, a lot of pilots and a lot of early episodes of a given show do not have what the show turns out to be down pat. Great examples of this are The Office and Parks and Recreation.
Yes, where in the pilot they hadn't figured it out yet. And then later they figure out what the feel of the show truly is.
Yes.
And we asked our patrons what show you would like us to find the quintessential episode for and see if this podcast would work. And we offered up Ted Lasso, we offered up Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and we offered up Parks and Rec. But our patrons decided on Community,
which is one of our favorite shows.
Absolutely. It's fantastic. So we're going to try to boil down what is the essential episode, the quintessential episode of Community. So first, let's discuss, what do you think goes into the quintessential episode of Community? What makes Community Community?
So, I think one of the things that you really need is you need the group to be fairly cohesive. So I would kind of make the argument that you need at least most of the original Greendale 7.
That makes sense. The Greendale 7 are who make up the idea of Community.
Yeah.
So you need...
Apologies to Frankie and Elroy, but it needs to be when, like, Troy, Shirley, and Pierce are still with the show.
Yeah, so...
Or at least some combination thereof.
So, but like, the core of Community, we are saying right now, is Jeff, Britta, Abed, Troy, Annie, Pierce, and Shirley.
Right.
Okay. So, for it to be the quintessential episode, we are saying we don't necessarily need Chang.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
I do agree.
Dean.
I agree.
Starburns. I feel like saying Starburns.
Magnitude.
Pop. Duncan.
No, I don't think we need Duncan.
Okay, so our version of the quintessential episode does not need to have those characters. It needs the 7.
Yeah.
So, at this point, we are disqualifying Season 6 entirely.
Yes.
Season 6 cannot be a quintessential episode.
I strongly do agree with that. I think it had to air on NBC, which also takes out Season 6.
That's an interesting qualification.
Like, it had to be in the core, because Season 6 of Community is very much, I don't want to say a victory lap, but it was very much a farewell season. And I think it's very hard for a farewell season to be a quintessential. Because so much of it is tied up in finishing things off and tying up ends.
Well, it's interesting because, like, this goes to show, like, the difference between a good episode and a quintessential episode. When I think of Community, literally one of my first thoughts, I believe the episode is lawnmower maintenance and postnatal care, which is season 2 or episode 2 of season 6.
Yeah.
Which is the dean in the virtual reality space.
Yeah.
And he just keeps screaming.
And Jesus wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
Yeah.
Something about that really tickles me.
I'm not saying there are no good parts of those episodes.
Oh, no, of course. That's kind of the thing I'm establishing. But the one thing I want to kind of go back to is I feel like, because season 6 took place on Yahoo Streams. Remember that?
Barely. I don't even think we watched it on Yahoo.
No, we waited until it came to, I think, Hulu?
Yes.
Yeah. But if we had the Greendale 7, this is kind of a hypothetical, so it's kind of hard to say for sure. I feel like if we had the Greendale 7 in this season, I wouldn't disqualify it because it's on Yahoo. I don't think the fact that it was on NBC is something that makes it a quintessential episode.
I can get with that. I think for me it's just having the rules of network comedy. Okay,
that's interesting. Oh, because
which it didn't have on Yahoo screen.
That's a very good point. That
it didn't have to follow those rules.
You know what?
And I think
I'm down with that.
I think the fact that it had to follow and at times acknowledge and skirt those rules.
Yeah, because I would say at its core, Community is rebellious.
Yeah.
It is rebellious against the format of a sitcom. So it needs to have the rules of a network in place to rebel against, which is gone if it's in
Yahoo streaming gave it everything it wanted.
You know what? All right, I agree. So that's another reason why we have to lose everything from season 6 is now just considered dead.
I would also argue to be truly Community, it needs to be a Dan Harmon season. So I would actually argue for the excision of season 4.
So you want to get rid of season 4 entirely?
Yes.
So what we lose in that is History 101, Paranormal Peerages, which I believe is that the video game episode?
I'm also pulling stuff up.
I have a list of every episode up here.
So do I. This way I can also see. Yeah, this is the, like, Inspector Spacetime. This is also the infamous puppet episode is in here.
Yes, Intro to Felt Surrogacy.
Yeah.
Which...
I love the naming convention of Community episodes.
I do, that they're all classes. I love that. I will say that season 4 is a drop in quality.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm not one of those people that tell you to skip season 4. I think there's a lot of enjoyable stuff in season 4. I think Conventions of Space and Time and the introduction of Dr. Space Time is great. I think that's a fun episode. Intro to Knots is a very good episode as well. This is where they tie up Malcolm McDowell at a holiday party.
Oh, yeah. This is the other Christmas episode.
That one's fun. I like that episode. I definitely understand getting rid of it because you've lost the voice of Dan Harmon, though.
Yeah, I think to really be Community. Like, if we're arguing what the quintessential elements are, I would argue that that's one of them.
So we're saying that the gas leak just completely gets rid of the quote-unquote gas leak.
Yeah, if they openly refer to it as the gas leak season, like, Community does not feel these are quintessential episodes of Community.
Okay, so season 4 and season 6 are both gone.
Yeah.
I also think we have to get rid of most of season 5.
Because the loss of Troy.
Well, the loss of Troy, yes. Because when does Troy leave?
He leaves... I am looking at what episode he leaves in. Yeah, he leaves pretty early in 5, I want to say. Because
we also lose Pierce.
Yes.
And because the last Pierce episode, even though he does not really appear, but his presence is still felt, is cooperative polygraphy. That's where they give away all of the, vials of sperm.
Yeah, he leaves in a Geothermal Escapism, which is season 5, episode 5.
It is literally the next episode.
Yeah.
It's weird. I could almost pick that as a quintessential episode if Pierce was still around, because that's The Floor is Lava.
Yeah.
And The Floor is Lava is great. What a great episode of Community that is. And it's Abed trying to, hold on to his friendship.
With Troy.
With Troy by basically making it impossible for him to leave by making the floor lava. So good.
And I know you like cooperative polygraphy.
I do.
But I think if we're arguing that it needs to have context for the audience, a character's funeral does not provide enough context.
Yeah, so I agree that we'd have to back away from that episode as well. So we've disqualified all of season 4 and all but 3 episodes of season 5.
Yeah.
At this point. Is there anything else worth just straight up disqualifying? One I would say I would disqualify is the pilot. I
agree. I don't really have a strong, the pilot doesn't count because X, but the pilot is so far removed from what the show turned out to be that I just don't feel like it would count.
The pilot was the only episode I watched live.
Yeah.
I watched the premiere of Community, and I watched the pilot, and when it ended, I was like, that was fine. And I had no desire to watch the next episode. I didn't hate it or anything, but it was no longer something I was like, I'm going to go out of my way to watch this. So, and that is against everything that is Community. And, that's not what a quintessential episode should do. So I would get rid of the pilot is kind of one of the first ones I would get rid of.
Okay.
How do you feel about holiday specials?
I actually have some real experience with this. I think I watched all of the Office holiday specials before watching The Office.
That is true.
Holiday specials are so ingrained in the relationships of a show. Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas is a little weird to watch if you don't know everyone else.
Yes. And continue, but you're touching on something that I also want to get into.
So I'm loath to have the Halloween or Christmas episodes, and I'm also loath to include the paintball episodes.
Really?
Because I find that these episodes are so far in service to a theme that they're more theme than Community.
True. I would say there's also the issue of, if we're finding the quintessential episode, I think it's cheating to pick a fistful of paintballs and a few paintballs more, because they're 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's also why I would actually pull out the Pillows and Blankets pair of episodes.
Yes.
Because I feel like they are not one episode. I feel like that the Civil War documentary pastiche that kind of starts in the previous episode.
I love that episode as well, but I think this is touching on the thing that I wanted to get to. Because the pair are Pillows and Blankets, and what's the other one?
Digital Exploration of Interior Design.
Yes. Yeah, so the fact that they are, like, so entwined together, I think we do have to lose those. I think a big thing that makes Community is parody. Mm-hmm. But that being said, we can't pick an episode that is entirely the wrong genre.
Like Basic Loop and Urology, which is all Law and Order.
Yeah, I think that one's gone. Like the same way that we can't pick Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas because claymation is not what Community is.
So also like Contemporary American Poultry would be in there, which is the gangster.
I actually
had that in one of my
I don't know, because that one is still... That one, I think, skirts it a little bit. Like, you can be a parody and still be... Like, this is not an episode I'd pick, but the space travel episode. The KFC space episode where they gotta fry the chicken and they're talking to Houston and all that good stuff. That is still Community because it's still through the lens of Community. And I feel like with the gangster episode, they're taking Community-esque things and sprinkling in this kind of heist movie thing.
Yeah.
While Law and Order has a different intro.
Yeah.
And is shot differently, and it no longer it's now a standout episode of Community.
So you think it has to have the classical intro to be an episode of Community? Because you know what episode that takes out?
No, I don't.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, see.
Which I think is going to be one... I know you talked about how, the next segment you wanted to do was talking about what people consider.
Yes.
And I feel like that's one that always comes up.
I think Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is... There are 3 episodes that I constantly see being marketed as the best episode of Community.
Yeah.
One is Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, which I think with ease we can kind of wipe away. Another is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think this is the quintessential episode of Community just because it is another standout episode where we're doing something that's very different from what Community usually is.
Yeah.
I think out of the 3 I always see as this is the best episode, you could probably make the best argument for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. The one that I would like to disqualify, because I think we got to circle back to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
But the other one that I think we can just straight up disqualify is Chaos Theory.
I agree.
Chaos Theory, I will admit, is probably the greatest episode of Community. One of the greatest episodes of television.
Yes.
Period. I think it is ineffectual to establish what this show is.
Yeah.
Because it's already very heady and stuff. And a lot of the things that happen are based off of the fact that you know these characters.
Right.
The whole point of Chaos Theory is these are what these people are with -1 character. And the effect one character has on the group. And my favorite line from it is Troy. Troy says, looks in Annie's purse and goes,
guys? What does a pregnancy test look like?
Oh, it's like a thin piece of plastic with a thing on the end of it.
Okay, so this is definitely a gun.
Whoa! Yeah, put that away.
Yeah.
Which is the delivery is on point. I love it. But the idea of Annie having a gun doesn't mean enough to you as a viewer if that's your first context of her.
And that little bit of ditziness from Troy.
Yes. And I'm also worried that if you made this the quintessential episode, you now go in thinking every episode of Community is the same story told 6 times.
Yeah.
Which is not what it is. So I think we can get rid of that one. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, I still feel like it just doesn't fit.
I agree. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons does tell a really great story.
It tells a fantastic story.
But I think with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons in particular, you need to see Pierce having been excluded for like half a season before it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Pierce is just an horrible person.
Yes.
Like, the audience kind of needs to still... If you don't kind of see where Pierce is coming from, like, Pierce is horrible in this episode, but you can also kind of see, like, everyone has been excluding him. Everyone has been treating him poorly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could say we could get rid of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons.
I would say in terms of getting rid of a few more, I think I want to get rid of a few early season 1 episodes.
I agree.
Before Britta's funny. When Britta's cool, I think we have to get rid of. Because Britta stops being cool and starts just being, like, very wacky.
Okay, so when would you say she starts being fun?
Because it, like, in looking over the episodes that I'm seeing, like, here's a great example. It's not quite Britta, but Football, Feminism, and You.
Okay.
When Troy's still a jock.
Yeah.
Like, again, one of my absolute favorite lines of Troy singing the fight song.
Yeah.
Hip, hop, body don't stop. Rip aside, got the broom, don't need a mop. Put your team in the box, put a ribbon on top. We're not John Kerry because we don't flip-flop. Say ho.
Why are you doing our politically conservative high school's shamefully outdated fight rap? Have you been playing football?
We was skinning around a couple of times. Still got it.
But you knew we had an astronomy test tomorrow.
Class blows. What I need to know about the universe is that I'm at the center of it. Oh, bing, bong, sing along. Your team's Al Gore because your views are wrong.
Troy, stop!
So good. It's so good. But again, that's not Troy anymore. I'm trying to think of when I see Britta stop being just like, because she was cool and then she became this kind of like silly buzzkill. And I'm trying to think when that like really starts to happen.
Well, I think Britta has multiple steps to her character. Because I think she has when she's cool, when she's trying to be cool and trying to be an activist. And then like in the later seasons where she just becomes an idiot.
Yes, because, and they say this in interviews, is like, we discovered her physical comedy talents, and then we just had to keep using it. And she's so fun. So we've gotten rid of a lot. We've taken down a bunch. There's still a couple on here that like I'm unsure about that I'm looking through the list. I started with I had a top 3 going in. It is now a top 5. I've gone backwards a little bit in my progression.
What's funny is I actually have a top 7.
You have a top 7.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm asked our patrons what they think. So let's let our patrons have a voice first. Kermit the Grog has said that it's a toss-up. I haven't looked because Kermit has had put the spoiler ties away. So this is my first time seeing it.
Just clicked on it.
All right, the first one is a fistful of paintballs. I understand why you would think that. Is this going to say a few paintballs more? No, it's remedial.
That's why I laughed, because they were both things we'd actually said no.
Yeah, I understand picking both of those.
Yeah.
The paintball episodes, because we got rid of a fistful of paintballs and a few paintballs more for being a sequel. But the first paintball episode is Pascal's Triangle Revisited, I believe.
Maybe.
I think that's the first, because it's the season 1 finale.
I don't think they actually do a paintball episode, or Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah, Modern
you're right.
Warfare is
It
first.
wasn't the season finale.
No.
Where it does kind of hit a couple of the things I'm saying. Everybody's in it. It is very much a genre parody, but it is still through the views of the community college. Ooh. This one actually is starting to hit more of the buttons than I thought.
I could see that.
I would say my biggest argument against it is this one starts with, I was going to say Joel McHale. Jeff goes and takes a nap in his car and then wakes up. And then it takes a while to get everyone back.
Yeah.
Because it's just Jeff for a while, and then it's Jeff, Troy, and Abed, and then it's not till they go to the bathroom that they find the girls. I don't know where Pierce is.
Yeah, I think that's another thing with the paintball episodes, is everyone's so divided all the time in the paintball episodes.
Yeah.
One of the ones I want to make an argument for is actually pretty early in season 1.
Okay, so are we making arguments now?
I think we can start discussing individual episodes.
Okay.
This is not going to surprise you. Environmental science.
Environmental science.
This is the 10th episode of season 1.
Okay.
It is the Somewhere Out There episode.
Yes, this is the mouse.
And it's the first. They also start putting characters together in really interesting ways. This is the first time we really see Troy and Abed as a duo.
Right.
We see them as a duo multiple times before this, but like this is one of those episodes where they're really starting to catch that.
Yeah, they're trying to get that. They're starting to realize their chemistry together. And
yes.
They're pairing them together more and more.
And the ending sequence where Troy and Abed are singing Somewhere Out There. And it's overlaid with the storyline with Chang and his wife and Shirley's successful business proposal in her class that Pierce has coached her through. So I think there's there's also something really fun with this because this is a Green Week episode. So it's dealing with the limitation the network put on them. Because NBC used to do those Green Weeks.
That's a good argument. That's a really good argument for this episode.
Because NBC used to force those environmental weeks. Because remember, there's a bit in 30 Rock where they're like, oh, they'll just put a green bug in the corner, and Kenneth looks down at the bottom corner where the bug would be.
Yeah, he actually stares at it.
And which is a great bit because it also kind of leans on Kenneth being Kenneth.
Yes.
So that
is a good argument. I would say my argument against it would be that Chang's wife is not important.
Fair.
So that would be my biggest problem with this. Actually, my second biggest one is, to me, like I said, one of the biggest parts of Community is parody. And I don't know what's being parodied here. Because they don't sing a parody of Somewhere Out There. They just sing Somewhere Out There.
No, I did I did like this episode because I felt like it was one of the first ones where the group really seems to come together. It's
definitely a great opening play.
Yeah.
I think.
And I only have one other season 1 episode that I would elect. Everything else I have is in season 2.
Okay. I have a season 1 that I want to bring up. I think it's definitely season 1.
Okay.
I really like Debate 109.
Okay.
Because I think another kind of key part of Community is guest stars.
Okay.
And this is where he argues with Jason Schwartzman in a wheelchair. Is it Jason Schwartzman?
No. I think you might be thinking of another episode.
Oh, I thought that was Debate 109. Maybe I'm wrong. But they do the debate where... Because this is a great explanation of Jeff, the lawyer who doesn't know what he's doing, where he tries to just lawyer his way through debates and it doesn't work out. And then he has to argue that man is evil inherently. And because I think it's
this is man is inherently good, man is inherently evil.
Yes.
I think it just might not be Jason Schwartzman.
Who was that?
The character named Jeremy Simmons is Aaron Himmelstein.
Oh, I thought it was Jason Schwartzman. My bad. But that great moment where he's got him on the ropes, and he just flies out of his wheelchair, and Jeff catches him, and he's like, he hates me, and yet he caught me. Man is inherently good. And Annie kisses him, and he drops him, and Annie goes, he was horny, so he dropped him. Man is evil. That is such, like... The idea that the major point you are making is so pointless, I think is so good. And I think this is kind of like the courtroom drama.
Right.
Like, this is the early seeds of, like, we're doing parodies in doing these debates. It's a really fun episode. And this is where, like, Britta's quitting smoking.
Yeah.
And, like, this is kind of like we're seeing cracks in Britta, because a big thing about Britta is she talks a big game and then is flawed.
Yeah.
So her having a smoking habit, I think, kind of plays into things.
I could make the argument for Debate 109.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can see where you're going with that. The only other one I have from this season, we actually have already brought up.
Yeah?
Contemporary American Poultry.
It is a really good episode.
That being said, I have this list of 7 episodes. Contemporary American Poultry is not the hill I die on. Like, if we're trying to boil it down to one...
I will say, whenever... Because we did some research where we, like, watched some top 10 lists and stuff like that to see what people said. And this episode always came up. And it was the one I always forgot.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that episode was pretty good. But I guess it just didn't leave the impression on me that I wanted. Yeah. I feel like we need to have the conversation about it. Let me pull up a quick summary here and, like, really think about it. I think I'm against it just because it's so not Abed.
Okay.
It doesn't feel Abed enough. Because, like, oh, man, I really don't have a great argument other than I think the other episodes I want to talk about are better.
That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, before we started, I had 3. Let me just throw this one out there, because this is the one that kind of, like, snuck in as we were thinking.
Yeah.
And I already have a bunch of reasons why it can't be this one. Accounting for Lawyers.
I did not bring that one in.
I like Accounting for Lawyers. Accounting for Lawyers because it has my absolute favorite scene from Community.
Okay.
Which is when Annie chloroforms somebody.
Excuse me? Who are you guys? This is not your office.
I can explain. Let me explain. Oh my God.
I didn't know what to do.
Oh my God.
I usually have one foot out of reality, and even I'm freaking out right now.
You chloroformed the janitor?
Stop yelling at me! You're the ones that got caught!
You're the one who's yelling?
We're in big trouble! We have to do something!
Oh, I don't know what to do. My whole brain is crying.
And then their plan is to all lay down like they were all just chloroformed.
Oh my God, we were all just chloroformed.
At the same time. Isn't that weird? Yeah, who are you? And why are you holding a rag? And then they chloroform him again.
Yeah, I think so much of it takes place away from Greendale.
That's my problem, yeah.
Because, like, Greendale is as much a character in this show. Because there's actually at least one other episode I considered. There's one, that being said, there's one I really like that does not take place much in Greendale that I really want to kind of argue for.
Well, I have one here. I will argue for this one then, because this is my chaotic choice.
Okay.
This is my absolute chaotic choice where it really doesn't make sense to be chosen, but I still think that's kind of the reason. Paradigms. Oh man, I can't say this word. Of human memory.
Paradigms of human memory.
Paradigms. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic.
Paradigms of Human Memory was on my list.
Really? It's the clip show episode.
Yes.
And it's kind of a great screw you to your friend.
Yeah.
If you show them this first. It's like, yeah, because it'll tell you everything about it. And then for them to then go back and start at the beginning and realize none of the clips are showing up.
It's also got a very key line that your friend probably would know. This is the line that gives birth to 6 seasons in a movie!
6 seasons in a movie is in this. And because they keep cutting to... They keep setting up these, like... these clips, because it's a clip show episode, to things that we've never seen in the show. I believe this is the first time we're off campus. Ever. Is in these clips.
That's not true.
Well, no, because Accounting for Lawyers is literally right there.
Yeah, season 2, we move around a bit.
But yeah, they don't go off campus in the first season. I remember them like talking specifically about that. But the main things that they're cutting to is Abed running around because he loves the cape.
Show's gonna last 3 weeks!
6 seasons in a movie!
Yes.
And that's when Jeff's like, it's going to get canceled. No, 6 seasons in a movie. Which is so
And then them being in
vital.
like a Wild West town that was filmed at Universal Studios.
Yeah, they're in a Wild West town. And then it's them like on a rafting trip on St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, something like that.
Because there's a great moment where they're all just getting out of a lake. And Troy says,
You can yell at me all you want. I've seen enough movies to know that popping the back of a raft makes it go faster.
and that is a great explanation of Troy in a sentence.
Yeah.
I really do love that episode. And they're in an insane asylum at one point. And it's very important that all the events that take place are in fact canon. Because there's a line from Starburns where he says, remember St. Patty's Day when they were all gone? What a great day.
Yeah, because I do love that, like, we're saying the Greendale 7's really key, but I do love that the rest of Greendale hates them.
Yes! Because I think it's the end of Pascal's Triangle, I think at the end of season 1, where they're watching the video yearbook.
Yeah.
And the video yearbook is all them. And then you just see a bunch of characters you've never seen before going, I don't know who any of these people are.
Yes.
Which is like a great, like, college moment.
My direct opposite of that is cooperative calligraphy. We're doing a bottle episode!
Oh, it being so on the nose is so good. And, like, we do get to see all the characters.
Bottle episodes are always, like, such good quintessential episodes because you are pulling the key factors of a show.
Yeah.
Someone's having a party outside.
Yeah, there's a little party going on outside. But I love this episode. This episode is so funny and, like, it's all about getting Annie's purple pen.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that she's obsessing over the purple pen is a very Annie thing. So you get a lot of Annie here. The just immediate mistrust of the group. Mm-hmm. Because, like, the 7 are best friends, but they all kind of, like, have this animosity towards each other as well.
Everyone has secrets.
Yeah. Like, other than, like, Troy and Abed, like, all the characters are also slightly at odds, pretty much at all times.
Yeah.
So, we definitely get a feel of that. The characters break up into different groups often, like in many times in that episode where you see like the boys against the girls and then the older folks versus the younger folks. I would say there are 2 things acting against this episode.
Okay.
One is Pierce is in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Which is not, like, I'm a little worried that people would be like, Pierce is always in a wheelchair?
Well, his legs are clearly broken because they cut his casts off to find the pens. So it's not a clear, like, it's clearly an injury.
Right. I would also say the other major issue is the resolution.
A ghost did it?
Well, that's not actually, that's what
they say.
Which, I love that whole speech, was like, let's all just decide a ghost did it. And, like, the fact that they're all able to just be on board because their friendship is more important is a great message of who these people are. But the actual culprit
is Annie's boobs.
Which is established in a previous episode. And if you don't know that, it's really weird that a monkey shows up.
Fair. Okay.
That is my... And, like, there's also part of me that thinks that's cool.
Yeah, well, there's part of me that, like... Because the monkey is never, like, a key character.
No, you only see the monkey, like, 3 more times, I think.
Yeah.
Because Chang starts living with it, I believe.
So, I'm reluctant to totally let that one go. What is another one you have?
I got two more. This one's...
All right, I have 3 more.
This one's probably a bit of a curveball for you.
Okay.
English as a second language.
That is not one I had.
English as a second language is towards the end of season 1. Because it is a very clear parody, but it is still like letting us know things about this character. This is the episode where Troy discovers that he has magical plumbing powers.
Yes.
And it is very much a clear parody of Good Will Hunting. Okay. Because they set up the scene where he comes in and he sees the complicated problem on the board. And then instead of solving it, he fixes a water fountain, I believe, or a leaky pipe of some sort. Great. I love that type of parody. And the whole time they're talking about Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Which is great. And the other story of this is exposing Chang as a terrible teacher.
He doesn't have real credentials.
Yes, which mirrors Jeff and his journey. And they establish the stuff about Jeff, so we know that about Jeff going forward. And also really establishes how slipshod the school is.
Yes.
And I think that is something that is missing. Ooh, I just thought of one that I forgot that I wanted to talk about. But
okay. Well, I've got like 3 more, so you can throw another one in the ring.
But like, any arguments against English as a second language? Is it just not good enough?
It's just not like... I just don't think it's that good of it. Like, it's an okay episode.
Okay.
But it's not, like... It's not as good. I think it's also one of those things of, like... There's a... IGN put on their ratings. It really wasn't that bad. It was just weaker than usual. So, like, it didn't feel...
I think it does a lot of good things, but I don't think it has, like, the memorable lines.
Yeah. Because I had to, like, look up the synopsis to even remember it.
All
right, so for me, another one is Aerodynamics of Gender, which is season 2, episode 7.
All right.
It is the trampoline episode?
That's the one I just thought of! That's so weird! I was like, oh, I forgot I wanted to look up what episode was the trampoline
and the Mean
episode.
Girls episode. Because it's the girls and Abed, because they realize Abed is incredible at laser focusing on girls' flaws.
Yes.
And it's also the episode with the trampoline. This is also the episode where Pierce breaks his legs.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to argue for this one too, just because it's a very absurd premise, the trampolines, where they just happen to find this magical land that has a trampoline, which makes it great. We also get guest star Matt Walsh, who is not a huge star, but one of those, hey, it's that guy.
You're really going to go with Matt Walsh over Hilary Duff and Andy Dick?
I was more saying that there's a lot of that guy actors in Community.
Yes.
Like
Andy Dick.
Andy Dick, I know Andy Dick's name.
Yeah.
But like the teacher in the conspiracy episode. That's another like, oh, it's that guy. That's a common feeling in Community. The guy who plays the Glee Club leader is another like
Taron Killam.
Oh, it's him. So the fact that Matt Walsh is in this and making me go, oh, it's that guy. It really shows the antagonistic force of Pierce. The Abed superpower being mean and it being used for evil, and the like, oh, we only do it to bitches.
And then
they're bitches.
Yeah, and then like him recognizing it and giving Megan the keys to destroying it.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I think that's a really good episode. That was on my original list. I have 2 left.
I'm so glad you picked that. I only have the one left.
All right, so do you want me to go with one
I'll
line?
let you. I think there's a good chance that one of them is the same one that I've picked.
Okay.
So I will let you.
So my
go.
first one is Celebrity Pharmacology.
Celebrity.
It's the play. The drugs play.
Oh, the drugs play. That is. That does a lot of good things for all the characters, including Chang. And the Dean. Ooh, that is a good one.
And it also has, like, the temptation of Annie, because Pierce bribes Annie into letting him have more and more of a bigger role in the play.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the whole thing with Britta, Jeff, and Marcus, where Jeff, like, accidentally dirty texts Britta's nephew.
Yes. Oh, man. There are perfect stories for each of the characters in that.
And, like, Shirley and Chang, like, evading each other. Or Shirley evading Chang because we have the storyline of, like, he might be her baby's father.
Yeah. That might be a bit too much lore for a quintessential episode, but... Ooh, that is a real good pick I had not considered. Ooh. All right.
I like that one a lot for this.
I like that one too.
It also humanizes Pierce really well, because we start losing that humanity of Pierce a little bit in later episodes. Like, Pierce forgives Annie. Like, Annie doesn't take his money, but she and Pierce maintain a relationship.
That's really good. That's really good.
All right, what is your last pick?
Because let me tell you, if it's not the one I'm thinking of, we're gonna have a problem sorting all of this out now.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I just want to make sure I have the absolute right name for this. I think, and this is my number one pick.
Okay.
This is the one I would go to. Intermediate documentary filmmaking.
Really?
No, it's gotta be. It's so good because it's a parody. We're seeing a documentary parody, but we're still getting everything.
I think you need to know so much about the characters for this episode to not feel impermeable.
I think this tells you everything about those characters, though. Like, I think because we see every character facing their biggest problem. One-on-one. We see Britta being given the money and choosing between donating it or using it for rent. We see Jeff's problems with his father. We see... we get LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton. You can't disappoint a picture. I told him. And this tells everyone the relationships with Pierce in that way. And the relationship with Abed, because Abed is an unaffected outsider, which is really what Abed is.
I also think this does do a really good job of making fun of other sitcoms. Because they do the Talking Heads thing, which was really popular at that point with sitcoms.
Yes.
But more than that, the end sequence, where it reminds me of every episode of Scrubs.
Yes.
Where there's the voiceover, where it's like, you can always wrap it up with a series of random shots, which, when cut together under a generic voiceover, suggest a profound thematic connection. I'm not knocking it. It works.
But I think this is good because the whole episode's not shot that way.
Yeah.
So we still see bits of what Community usually looks like, and then they're like, hey, here's this parody we're doing, which I think is important. And the fact that at the end it just falls apart is so funny to me, where, like, Jeff is given in to the idea that this is going to happen, and then he goes up to Pierce and he's like, you better produce my father and not you in a mask doing a voice.
Because I will beat you down and I promise there won't be anything wacky or madcap about it.
And then
I love that line.
Exactly what happens. It's so funny.
Yeah, I have one last pick.
Oh, no. No, I was so excited. It was like we had a good debate and we're going to be on the same page with intermediate documentary filmmaking.
I think a key thing here is whether we consider Greendale itself to be important.
Which I do.
Because in your episode, Greendale does not appear, and it doesn't appear in this one either.
Ooh.
Critical Film Studies. This is a dual parody of the Pulp Fiction birthday party and My Dinner with Andre.
Ooh.
This is one of the key episodes to me because I think there's something...
I did turn it on randomly, like recently. We
Like-
just watched that episode because it was so good.
This is also like the Cougar Town thing, which I still love that in the real episode of Cougar Town, you
Yes.
see that. Which is such a great bit to me.
Is Pierce not in that episode?
I believe
He's the Gimp, but, like, is he not really the Gimp?
he is there.
Like, I'm trying to think if we actually see him or if he's, like, gimped up the whole time because Chevy Chase had stormed off.
I don't think that's the case. I think he's there.
That could have been an implanted memory. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he's there.
I want to argue against that episode
Okay.
because the whole episode is Jeff trying desperately to do a nice thing for Abed, and we don't really get to see Jeff be selfish this episode.
Okay.
Which I think is a big Jeff Winger thing. Because, like, a lot of episodes of Community are Jeff being selfish, realizing his errors, choosing his friends. And this is kind of the opposite of that.
Okay.
It is a great episode.
It is
though.
true. Season 2 of Community, it must be said, is one of the single greatest seasons of television. And I had this thought with... That was one of the only episodes I liked enough to exempt it from... I felt it was really important for the Quintessential episode to be Greendale-centric.
Yeah.
Because another episode that I love is Mixology Certification. Troy's 21st birthday. But so little of it takes place at Greendale.
Yeah.
I feel like Greendale's a really important character in and of itself.
Well, I would say in your episode, they are never at Greendale.
Yeah.
I feel like intermediate documentary filmmaking starts at Greendale at least.
Maybe, but like...
And then they're like, Pierce is at the hospital.
They're at the hospital for so much of it that, like, you're grasping.
Yeah, yeah, I am. Because I think it's the perfect episode. Ooh.
I do not think it's the perfect episode.
Man, I think we just knocked out each other's number one answers.
That was... I was going in sequential order of airing.
Oh!
I had not ranked
What is
them.
your number one, then?
I think for me, it's between, at this point, Aerodynamics of Gender, Celebrity Pharmacology, and Paradigms of Human Memory.
All right, so... All right, we're getting rid of English as a second language.
Yeah.
That's gone. I can't believe intermediate documentary filmmaking.
I think we should get rid of Accounting for Lawyers.
Accounting for Lawyers, yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
As much as I'd really like to argue for... I think at this point, we can kind of agree that it's going to be one of the season 2 episodes.
Yes,
So-
we can get rid of the debate.
The debate, environmental science, and contemporary American poultry.
Yeah. I feel like a fan of Community listening to this would be upset at how little we talked about American poultry. But it's our show.
Yeah, so that leads us down to... I hate to say it leads us all down to ones I picked.
I mean, I know I picked weird ones. But I also kind of picked weird ones. One, avoiding calligraphy, because I knew you were going to pick it.
Yes.
And two, so certain that intermediate documentary filmmaking was going to win.
Yeah.
That I was like, the other ones I picked don't really matter.
Following our How Important is Greendale, I could sacrifice Celebrity Pharmacology. As much as I love that episode, it mostly takes place in, like, an elementary school.
That's kind of the one I was leaning more to.
I love that one. I would be totally down for having that be the one.
Because
We also established that, like, Annie is so independent, she lives above Dildopolis.
Yes. I think while it does not take place in Greendale, the play that they're touring with is very much them taking Greendale with them.
Yeah, it's Greendale on tour.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is Greendale on tour.
And, like, it is something that they are being asked to do by the dean. So this is connected directly to Greendale.
So I don't want to eliminate that one yet.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards that one.
Paradigms of Human Memory, if we're arguing that you need to show this to someone else, this would be a bit of a tough one. But I do love all of the gravity sequences so much.
It's the thing about the Human Memory one is it would make sense that you're showing your friend a recap episode. So it's like, oh, okay, so I'll know all the stuff that happened before.
I mean, the whole, like, conceit of it is that they find all the stuff Annie's boobs has stolen. So this also, like, ruins the ending of Cooperative Calligraphy.
Is that what is the frame story?
I have the Wikipedia page up for it because I put the Wikipedia page of each of the episodes I picked.
Okay.
The study group is working on their final anthropology project in the library. Troy's former pet monkey steals a paintbrush and escapes into the air conditioning vent. Chang follows Annie's boobs and finds a trove of items stolen by the monkey, including Annie's missing pen that had caused the heated argument earlier in the year.
Ooh, the fact that it does give that away kind of... I think we got to disqualify it.
Okay.
For the sake of this not taking forever.
Yeah, so now we're down to 3.
We're down to 3. We're down to aerodynamics,
Cooperative Calligraphy, and celebrity pharmacology. Season 2 is such a good season, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I could lose aerodynamics of gender.
I think that's the one I want to argue for the least.
Okay, so let's... Alright, so we have 2 episodes left. Cooperative Calligraphy and Celebrity Pharmacology.
Yeah.
Oh my god, these episodes aired like 2 months apart.
I'm gonna make a weird... It's a weird
Richard
reason.
Ayoade directed Critical Film Studies. Today I learned.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. I think... This is what I want to say. I think Calligraphy really lets us know who those Greendale 7 is.
Okay.
But I think the supporting cast is very important to what Community is. And we don't get them much in this episode.
Okay.
And you get a lot of good Dean, and you get a lot of good, really good Chang.
Yeah, Chang is fantastic in Celebrity Pharmacology.
Because he takes over his drugs.
And ends up saving the day.
Yes, but still being a douche. Like, that's so Chang.
Like, he saves the day because he's terrible. Because the whole thing is that he comes out as the new incarnation of drugs. So Pierce, who is the beloved incarnation of drugs to these children, it becomes like very symbolic of like, this is what drugs was. I'm what drugs turn out to be when you've been doing them too long.
I did not think this conversation was going to go this way. But I think that's our pick.
Okay, cool.
I'm looking through everything, going through my notes, seeing if there's anything I want to argue about any one of these episodes.
It's smack dab in the middle of the 2nd season, which is... The 2nd season of Community is genuinely just really good. I would argue that if you could show one of your friends only one season of Community...
Oh, it's season 2.
Make it season 2.
It's of course season 2.
I mean, because season 2 has so many classics. Because even just outside of that, that's Epidemiology. That's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas. That's a fistful of paintballs and a few paintballs more. It's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, what an amazing season
of
television this is.
Good lord. The idea that this was all airing, like, you know, I think it's funny. Accounting for Lawyers, which is one you strongly advocated for, was the night of our first date.
Was it?
Yeah, according to the air dates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What? Oh, man. Community was a great show.
Yeah, we didn't watch it until we had been dating for some time together.
Yeah, we owned it for a really long time not watching it.
Yeah, we bought it on like Black Friday sale where it was like $10 for a season back when you'd buy season DVDs. Mm-hmm. And I think I bought like the first 2 seasons for like $20. And then it snowed and we sat down and we were like, oh yeah, let's like sit down and finally watch that. And it did take a bit of time.
Yes. I will say it takes a bit of time to like really get rolling, but season 2, it is rolling.
Because that's why I actually had environmental science, because that's the first episode where it really like gets me. I think it's funny because I looked over to my left and my boss sent me a specific Christmas card that says "Have a Human Christmas," and it's the terrifying Greendale human being.
Yes.
With a nose and antlers riding his bike. So I've just had that staring at me the whole time, and that. It actually did advocate for me why Greendale needs to be a character.
Yeah.
The Greendaliness of Greendale.
All right. Cool.
So the key episode of Community is episode 213, Celebrity Pharmacology.
Cool. All right. So that's going to do it. We have dubbed the quintessential episode. So if somebody's like, hey, what's Community all about? That's the episode that we here at Stay Doomed recommend you show your friend. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to do another bonus episode next month.
Yep.
And we need your help deciding what we're going to do. So let's throw out our suggestions here. So this episode will come out with a poll.
Yeah, the first one we're talking about is our top 5 movie theater experiences. Because it's Omicron season, y'all, and we are missing the movies.
Yes. So if you'd like to hear that, you can vote for that. Or if you really liked this episode, we'll do it again. The quintessential episode of another series. So we will continue quintessential episode if you guys so choose.
We also, I love me a good top list. Top 5 non-Disney rides. We did top 5 Disney attractions some time ago, but we were kind of like, guys, can you tell like I'm cabin fever and like real bad? I'm like, let's talk more about outside. I like outside. Do you guys remember outside?
And
do you guys remember outside?
Vaguely. And finally, just simple predictions of 2022, what we think will be the best, the worst in various forms of media. So you can choose between those 4, and we'll give you a bonus episode next month here on the show. Thank you so much to our patrons for listening to this, voting for this, and supporting the show.
Yep. And you can, as always, reach us on the Discord.
Yes.
You don't really need to have to go to email, Facebook, and Twitter.
That's the
you
cool
can
thing.
Just say something on the Discord, and we answer.
Yeah.
We're really good about answering on the Discord, I promise.
Yes, we are. Let's go watch this episode of Community.
All right.
Bye.
I want some chicken fingers.